Good morning, Ashland High School. Your counselors are here to present you your advisory lesson this morning. We're going to talk about time management and how important it is. Next slide, please. And what we hope you take away today is that you know how to divide your daily activities into 2 or 3 categories, and that you will be able to do the tasks that you have to do first, so that you have more time to do the things that you like to do. Go ahead, next slide. But you're probably wondering, well, wait a minute, there's only 24 hours in a day. How am I supposed to get everything done? I have to sleep at least 8 to 10 hours. And teenagers, yes, we do want you to sleep at least 8 to 10 hours. Then we're asking you to do 5 hours of school at least 4 times in a day, and 4 times a week. 9 to 11 hours are left over for you to fill with all the other activities that you have to do. And I'm talking about, like, you have to eat, you have to spend time with your family, any other obligations you might have with your family, you have to do homework, your extracurricular activities. And the most important, of course, is that you socialize with your friends in any ways that you can during this time of our pandemic. But we do know that how you choose to spend your time can make or break your academic career. Now, you guys, I also want you to know that go ahead and take a piece of paper out, because we are going to ask you to do a little activity a little later, and get something to write with.
All right, so the key is to find a good balance, and we've adapted from Sean Covey a rock, pebble, and sand activity analogy. So next slide, please. I'll talk a little bit more about that. So the rocks are the big priorities. So the things that we have to do, things such as going to school, that would be a rock or that might be a rock priority. Pebbles, obviously a little bit smaller than rocks, and these are the things that we enjoy doing and that we want to make more time to do. And then sand priorities are the little things that we enjoy, but if we don't get to those, then oh well, it's not the end of the world. So your priorities might look different than your friends, than your parents, teachers, and there's no right or wrong with your priorities. Really, what's important here is determining what those priorities are, and then being able to have a good balance, a healthy balance. And when we get those rock priorities taken care of and done, then we have more time for the pebble and sand priorities. And on the next slide, we're going to show you a video demonstration, and basically it shows the same concept of the rock, pebble, and sand, just using different materials.
This is your life. Looks pretty full, doesn't it? That's because it is. It's full of all the things you'd be incomplete without. Love, family, food, water, health, your parents, your passions. With all of these things, you could have nothing else and still lead a full life. But even with all of this, you'll still have some space to fit more things. Smaller things. This is your job, your car, your house, money. Things that are still important. If you took them all away, your life would still be full. If you're watching this video, that means you'll still have some space left over. These are the really small things. Watching a movie, playing a video game, sports, ice cream. Things that make your life that little bit nicer, but things that are really just trivial in the end. If you wanted, you could try to put these things first, wasting your time in front of the television or the computer, playing games, or whatever it might be. You could follow it up with the material things, money, important things. You run out of space. Some things will have to be left out, and nobody wants that. So keep that in mind as you go through life. Put the really important things first, and then find space for the rest. If you run out, it really won't matter anyways. It's just the small stuff.
Okay,
Okay, students, now we're going to take that piece of paper out that Carrie talked about before, and we're going to do a brief activity. By the way, in that video, you know, when that guy kind of throws that mom ball out, we really don't want to do that. I think that was just for dramatic effect, that we don't want to lose sight of those big rock priorities. Speaking as a mom. Anyway, I want you to go ahead and take a look at this slide and look at the bolded priorities, the rock priorities, the pebble priorities, and the sand priorities. And I want you on your piece of paper, not to duplicate this, just to kind of write a few things on your paper. So I want you to write rock priorities up on the far left-hand corner. And then after you do that, I want you to write pebble priorities, probably about 2 or 3 inches down. You can just do pebble for short if you want. Another 2 or 3 inches down, I want you to write sand priorities. Okay, as you finish that, then I want you to look up again at the top. You're going to write time spending and on top of that second column. Okay, it says, how much time do you currently spend on these things? We'll just write time spending. That's your current amount of time that you're going to be spending on priorities. And then right next to it, you're going to write time would like to spend. Now, if you want to, as you write this out, you can kind of draw lines down to kind of separate the columns like we have here, just to kind of line things up as you list your priorities. Okay, once you have that done, under rock priorities, I want you just to take a minute or so to write just a few of your basic rock priorities out. This doesn't have to be a completely comprehensive list right now. This is just an exercise to get you thinking, to get you reflecting, kind of thinking about how you spend your day and in how you're feeling it right now. So you can continue and work on this later when we're done. But I would suggest for rock priorities, you start out with what Carrie brought up, your sleep. So you put sleep down there and then you say in that second column, how much are you sleeping? Whatever it is, I want you to take a moment and think, when am I going to bed? When am I waking up? Now remember, we're just doing this for our weekdays. Let's just, for our Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, more or less, since Wednesday's a little bit of an unusual day. Okay, now I want you to put down school. And some of you have different, if you're a senior, you may have less than 5 hours a day, but the rest of you, you pretty much have to be in school from 9:30 to 2:40, so that's about 5 hours. All right, and now list a few other rock priorities. For me, that might be my work, that might be equivalent to your school. For me, that might be time to pay my bills, go grocery shopping, all these like essentials that keep my life and my family running. But I want you to think about what is essential for you. Okay, we're going to move down. We're going to keep going here. We're going to move down to pebble priorities. And remember, if you look at this, it says these are activities you enjoy. They contribute to your sense of well-being. And you may want to do more of them. Okay. So for you, maybe that's working out every day. For me, maybe that's doing some more art. I love art. It really, really makes me feel good and centered. And even just doing a tiny bit of it each day is something that improves the quality of my life. But I can live without it. It's not a basic. All right, so maybe you want to add in more time, or maybe your rock priority is spending time with friends. Maybe there's a couple other friends that you want to kind of get to know better. Maybe those are pebble priorities. All right, as you get 2 or 3 of these listed down, I want you to think about the amount of time you spend on those pebble priorities. Just jot them down. Okay, we're moving on to the sand priorities. These are those ones that Brianna was saying, you know, if we don't get to them, oh well. Now for me, a sand priority might be watching a bunch of TikToks that one of my friends likes to send a bunch of us. I'm not on TikTok, but boy, I do enjoy them when they come in a big bunch of them. But then I find myself thinking, what did I just do? That was a lot of time. A little bit, I do like them a little bit, just not a lot bit. For you, sand priorities might be social media. How much time are you spending on social media? Sometimes social media is important and it can become like a little bit of a priority, but just a little bit. So again, might be social media, might be video gaming, might be binge watching a Netflix series, anything like that. I want you to list those SAN priorities now. All right. Think hard. And again, you can continue this activity after we're done here. I want you to think hard about how much time realistically that you're spending on these. I have a feeling some of our SAN priorities have increased during COVID because we don't have the structure and kind of the routine that we used to have with the kind of extracurriculars you did. So make sure you're realistic. If you're spending 4 hours a day video gaming, be honest. That's what this is about. Okay, I want you to add all of those up together. This doesn't mean this is going to make 24 hours, but add them all up, put down your daily total. Now, your next piece of this exercise is just to glance at these categories. Just quickly glance at them. Look at your sleep. Is that how much sleep you want? If that's how much sleep you want, great. You're going to replicate that number in your far right column. How much time would you like to spend on these? If you're getting 12 hours of sleep and you're thinking that's a little much, I'm pretty groggy and it's 12 hours and I'm losing out on some good time, maybe you make it 10. If you're getting 6, maybe you make it 8. Okay, that's the idea. I want you now to take some time to go down and look through your Pebble priorities and your SAN priorities and do the same thing. How much time do you think would be good to be spending on these? Now remember, a SAN priority is something that doesn't really radically change the quality of your life. So if I were watching TikTok for 4 hours a day, maybe I would turn that into 30 minutes. So it was a nice little treat, but it's not taking away all of this other time. Okay, I think we're going to wrap that up. Again, you can work on this more on your own, but we're going to move on to the next slide.
Okay, so class chat. So do you think that you can reprioritize your rocks, pebbles, and sand to achieve more balance? That's the big question. Can you shift time, like Diane said, from one activity to another so your life feels a little more better and balanced? So maximizing your time. Wednesday afternoons, you can spend a little time doing extra work. During classwork time, spend some time doing some extra work so it's not in the afternoon or into the evening. Or when your lessons wrap up early, maximize that time once again. Try to get your work done before and after school, during lunch, or office hours on Wednesday. Instead of just skipping out and not doing anything at all, go ahead and use that time, maximize that time so you have more time to do the pebbles and the sand. Get started on your homework as early in the afternoon as possible. You can give yourself a 45-minute break. Shouldn't be any more than that, okay? You'll be more efficient. When you look over these things, go ahead and take some time to think again. Like I said, reprioritize. Take your rocks first, pebbles, and then sand, okay? And your life will feel a lot more balanced. A couple of your classmates did an excellent video. I want to go ahead and share that with you next. And go ahead and pay attention to this. It's pretty fun to watch.
You guys,
What, Charlotte?
did you do the math homework?
We don't need to do the math homework. There's so much time.
Are you sure?
Lots of time. We're positive.
It takes pretty long. Okay.
We got this.
Man, it is so late now, and I haven't even started my math homework. How are you doing?
I don't think I'm going to get my homework in before the due date.
I don't think I am either.
Guys, I told you to do this earlier.
But when would we have had time?
You were prioritizing your fighting.
How can we change that?
Let me show you.
How are some rocks and some dirt gonna fix my time management schedule?
For real, we should go back to sword fighting.
Seriously.
You guys, listen. You see this jar?
Yeah.
This represents your life. This dirt inside, that's all your fun activities like sword fighting. Playing sports, watching TV, playing games, doing theater activities. It's all your fun stuff, okay? So, here are your responsibilities in life. Like
The rocks?
the rocks. Like homework, sleeping, eating, family time, and your job, okay?
Yeah, okay.
So, you see you have all your fun activities in here.
Yeah.
If you try and have your fun activities at the bottom, and put all your
Does that mean we're
responsibilities.
doing all our fun activities first?
Yes, if you're doing all your fun
Okay.
activities
I
first,
see. I like
and then
that.
these rocks symbolize your responsibilities. You can't fit them all in here, right?
Oh,
It's too tight.
That's
It's
like us.
Dude.
That's like us
Yeah,
right
we
now.
literally couldn't finish
You
the math.
prioritize your sword fighting, and this was your mouth homework.
So how are you gonna fit the rocks and the dirt in the life jar?
I'll show you. You put your priorities first. Your responsibilities.
Food and sleep.
Yeah,
I'm just reassured.
we'll
Okay.
see. See how all your responsibilities fit in this jar?
Yeah.
That's
Wait, they
crazy.
didn't earlier.
Now we take your fun activities,
There will be never enough room for that.
like sword fighting. See how it all fits in?
Oh my god,
What?
it's fitting in.
Oh my god, wait.
So, if you prioritize your life responsibilities,
And there's extra room.
and there's extra room for more fun.
Some more dirt. Wait. We can even fit all the fun things.
Right.
So much fun.
Wow.
Thank you.
So, the lesson learned.
That is perfect.
You guys, stop! Why are you sword fighting? I thought I taught you about this.
Hey, we're already done with all of our responsibilities.
Yeah, we learned from your time management skills.
Yeah, I'm really thankful.
Great.
What?
Yeah.
You want to sword fight?
Ah.
We hope this video showed some of the importance of time management. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
All right, AHS students, thank you so much. And special thanks to Noah, Michael, and Charlotte for that fabulous rock dirt version of our rock pebbles sand. We really appreciate you contributing to this lesson. And to all of you, we want to let you know again, counselors are here for you. Please reach out when you need us, and have a wonderful Wednesday.